Whoa.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells.
My name. Oh.
We didn't rehearse again. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And together we will stay strong by practicing our simple and strong body weight and kettlebell exercises. So welcome to today's session. Live on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and in the archive at any time. Did you know you breathe almost any time?
I'm cold, so let's get started.
Unless you're intentionally holding your breath. Let's bring some intention to the breath. Fire up those insides and breathe with control. Lauren's going to get on her back. She'll take that ball, place it on her belly button, and gently say hello to the breath strategies here for today. As usual, we'll take our breath in and out of the nose, filling the belly, following by with an exhale. And Lauren has a little halo on her head up there with a little gymnastics ring. Oh. Halo, halo. So how low and how slow can you take your breath here? Take a sniff in through the nose, filling the belly, and then exhale. Whether it's the rise and fall action of the ball on Lauren's belly or feeling that hand, take a breath in and then exhale. Now for 10 in a row, take 10 quick breaths. 3, 2, in, 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 in. And repeat one last time. Quick breaths in for 10. And slow on the out. Now take 4-second inhales here. 4, 3, filling the belly. And now let's hold for 4, 3, 2. Exhale, nice and light. 4-second on an exhale. And also hold empty. Repeat inhale, 4 seconds in. Filling that belly. Exhale. Also hold empty for 4. One more breath in. This time could be hold for 10. Relax the fingertips, relax the toes, and for 4, 3. Slow exhale over 4 seconds as we can. And we're going to hold empty for 8, 7. Toes again relax, hands stay loose, shoulders at your ears, and nice and slow, continue that breathing. Breathe through the belly, fill up 360 degrees around. Breathe quick, but then let some of that slow down. From here, take your time, looking at my, the right one here, so excuse me. Take your time, let's come on up, and we'll start with our head, necks, some shoulders, work our way to the wrists with our body weight, and then we'll use our kettlebell to warm up. Oh!
I didn't see your hand there.
That was a hand to catch.
That's okay.
Almost like a Three Stooges. Okay. So from a standing position, take your hands behind the back and gently lift your shoulders up and then lightly pull them down. Roll the shoulders forward and then lightly retract them. From here, we'll get going on that head neck. At the head neck, take it into an extension, looking up to the ceiling. And then flexion, meaning chin towards the sternum. We'll do sets of 3 for everything. So that's our first repetition. And we'll go back to our extensions at the neck. And then the crown gets pulled high as we flex the C-spine or the neck to tuck a chin. And repeat one more of each for 3. Up. And then pull the chin in to flex the head neck to a tuck. And then return to center. Now I want you to think about this axis through your nose. So your nose will stay in the same position now as we incorporate our side flexion or lateral bend. And then pull the tall. And then same thing to the other side. Is your upper body coming along for the ride? Hopefully not. Maintain stability from, say, the neck down. And for about 2 more repetitions each, our side flexion, center, side flexion, center, and last one. It's not necessarily about getting further and further each time, but about feeling strong and feeling safe on the bending and then the returning to home. Last movement for the head neck, maybe recalibrate those shoulders, is the rotation. With the chin tuck in, pull the crown of the head high or the top knot to the ceiling as you add the rotation looking over the shoulder. Get tall yet again as you return to center, and then same thing to the other side. Repeat to center, getting taller as you go. Tall again, other side. Is that 2 or 3? Let's go 1 more for good measure here. Rotation to tall. And then last one to center. Shake out those arms. Let's take the hands together, a super powerful position. This can feel so good. And this right here also feels so good. Connect those hands with the people that you like and connect your own. Hands together, make these wrist rolls. Making these wrist rolls. You just stay up tall and not necessarily fast, but nice and slow. Maybe it's a figure 8 shape that you can imagine there. Take some nice wrist rolls.
I switch direction.
Switch your direction, which is a little bit of that brain gym exercise for me. So just making sure that we can do both there. Switch it out. A little bit of that wrist roll. And then a little wiggle. Biceps curls time, yo. Biceps curls. So from your standing position, have your elbows extended. Cramp up those triceps and do a little biceps curl. Find ways to make that politely heavy. Then turn your palms forward. Now, imagine pressing against a concrete wall. But then you're so strong that you'll press through that wall, extending the elbows. Crack. Then, pretend that that wall's in front of you and biceps curl into the wall and then through it like Superwoman, like Lauryn, to get those palms forward. And for the final movement here, palms to your face, cramp up those biceps, push into that wall, and nice and control to extend. Then take your hands out to the side, the front side. So again, kind of pointing towards our 10s and 2s. And from here, bend the elbows where the hands might touch the tops of the collarbones. Then turn out, extend the elbows, turn over the wrist. The shoulders aren't moving too much yet. And then the same thing towards the side. We'll do that 1 more time. Touch the tops of the collarbones, open up towards the center. Now, take the thumbs, bring them towards the collarbones, turn the palms over, reach out front. Turn the palms over, reach towards around the back, brush the tops of the collarbones, and straight. Last one, palms turn, go towards the back, hands touch tops of shoulders, and through. And then shake them out. Now, let's place our hands out to the side, and for 1 repetition, elevate or shrug the shoulders. But then, pull them down. With the shoulders low, then go into this anterior roll. Elevate and lift, and then pull down and under like we're scooping the shoulder blades underneath. Up and over, down and under. Up and over, the down and under. That up action again is happening because we're lifting the shoulder between the head and the shoulder. The down action is happening because we're pulling on those armpits or the serratus or the lats or all this stuff underneath. Let's go 1 more time each. Little up, little under, up and under, and just return those hands to the side. One last thing here, hands across center. Squeeze your butt from standing or tall kneeling and gently slide to the left and slide to the right. And 1 more time each way or so. and to center. Then, a little bit of a flexion forward and a little bit of our extension up. Lauryn's doing a really nice job there, tucking the chin. For 2 more, we'll gently round that upper back, pull the rib cage to the hips, and then look to push the sternum forward. 1 more time, nice easy upper back round, shoulder blades in retraction, and then pull the abs down and lift center. Final movement for this part of our spine is our rotation. So sitting tall, standing tall, squeeze your butt cheeks. Keep your head and sternum moving at the same pace, so your chin lines up over your sternum as you rotate to the side. Come on back center. Rotate the other way. Keep those hips facing forward. Tall yet again to center. And 2 more total each way. Nice and slow. And is your head doing most of that rotation, or is it your rib cage? The latter is the preferred. It's always important, obviously important, to be able to move the head. But right now, think about that rib cage. Last one on the rotation, and return to center. Shake it out. We'll continue our upper body warm-up now with our kettlebell or a ball off to the side. I have my kettlebell behind me. Lauryn's going to use a very, very light ball. So whether you're using a book, a dumbbell, a ball, something of the same variation, let's start playing with same with different skills with our strength kettlebell stuff.
All right, some halos. So our object has to start on the floor because we have to pick it up. Let's stand slightly behind, just adjust your wardrobe as needed, slightly behind your bell, pulling ourselves down into our squat. And let's hang out here just for a couple seconds. So how low are you getting today? Lifting that chest up, your safe low, and then tricked you, stand up tall. This next time we'll pick up our object. We'll pull ourselves down, grip your object, curling it back up to rack, and then to tall. Stepping your feet together, narrowing that base a little bit, put some more work on our core. Before we go anywhere, tuck under, bracing your core, squeezing your glutes. Then from here, ball is going to go from center to ear, to back of head, to ear, to center. Same direction for 2 more. Noticing that nothing's moving but the arms and the ball and your shoulders. Your head staying stationary, it's traveling around you. Back to center. Same thing, other direction. Ear, back of head, ear, front, ear, back of head. Recheck in. Are your glutes still squeezed? Are your abs still braced? And are you still breathing? All the way to center. Then step your feet back to your squat stance. Pull yourself down. Uncurl your arms. Let the object go. Up without. Nice. We're going to then
The goblet and window hold.
Goblet, window hold. Take the same bell. This time we're going to stand over top of it. 1 foot on either side. We'll assume our deadlift position first. We'll discuss that and then we'll pick it up. Use your hinge. Chop your hips back. For this first one, slide your hands down the front of your leg. Legs. Checklist. Toes heavy. Feet gripping the floor. Shins vertical. Hips are back, loaded through hamstrings and glutes. Now from here, push down and out on the floor to drive your hips through, back up to tall. We're going to pick up our bell this time. Maybe just watch Ian as he does this, and I'll talk you through it, and then you'll do it next time. So he's going to hinge, grip the top handle portion of his bell. As he extends his hips, he's going to pull and re-grip down the horns of the bell. From there, he's going to lift the bell up to look through the handle like he's looking through a window, holding, keeping abs tight. Then once he's done, when I say, which is now, the bell will start to lower, re-grip, hinge to put bell down. Ready? Your object this time. Hinge. Grip the top. Pack shoulders. Pull, re-grip. From here, lift the object. Brace your core. Squeeze your glutes. Keep that tall connection. Engage your lats. So I can't see you, but engage your lats. Imagine you're at the top of your chin up here, holding. Everything's tight. for 4, 3, 2. Now with control, it falls. And then hinge. Bell goes down. Up without. Shake it out. Following that with a little get up down.
Awesome.
Don't roll away.
Give yourself that space. I'm just going to move that off to the side.
Take an arm. Cross it across your chest. That's the side with the bell. Leg you can touch. Don't go down quickly. Leg you can touch. Drop back lunge. Stay. From here, square up hips forward. Tucking under. Shoulders are square. 5-second descent. Front hip goes back. Back hip pushes forward. 3, 2. Soft landing. Front foot opens. Rotate, hinge. Hand finds the floor. Make sure you stack those shoulders over. Sweep through to your elbow, and then away from your elbow to your back. We get right back up from here. Use that foot, pushing it into the floor, extending hip, squeezing glute, pulling on elbow. Check in as your shoulder proud, lat engaged. Keep that engagement as you find your hand. Remove foot, lift, sweep. Hand leaves the floor. Front foot moves. We're back into that lunge position. Before you go anywhere, square hips forward. Square hips level up. Then start driving down and away to create tension to stand up together. Throw your bell. Let's do it all again. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Starting with our halos?
Yeah, go to halos one more time.
Halo, halo. So get your object out. Never do that with a kettlebell. Don't kick it.
That would hurt your foot.
Yeah, and your groin. All right. Pulling ourselves down, 2 squats. Pull self down, hang out here. Remembering staples or essentials of our squats, which is that our knees are allowed to go over our toes. Our butt is lower than our hips, or than our knees. 3, 2, up. Tall.
Hopefully your butt's still attached to your hips.
I said lower. I meant butt lower than your knees.
Yeah.
Come on back down. Extend your arms. Curl it up with it. Feet step together, bracing core. This time let's alternate directions. 1 to the left. All the way back to center. 1 to the right. Ear, back of head, ear, front. Repeating again. If you have that bell should be right side up at the back behind your head, so the butt's facing the floor, and upside down in front of you. I've totally lost count.
1 more each.
Last one. And then you'll step your feet to your squat stance again, pulling yourself down, uncurling the object, and up without. Shake it out. Windows. Now we step over our bell. Oops. So tall here. Let me just back up. Stepping over a bell. This is our hinge this time. 2 hinges. First, hinge. This is different than our squat, right? Shins are vertical. Hips are higher than knees. Abs are braced. Drive down and out to stand up tall. Repeat. Hip hinge. This time we'll grip our bell. We'll pack our shoulders. We'll pull, catch. And then we'll lift our window to open. Shoulders down. Lats braced. Butt squeezed. Hold that bell. Keep tension. Imagine there's a big breeze that's coming through your room. Don't blow over for 5, 4, 3, 2. Bell starts to fall. Hinge. Bell goes down. Up without.
That window hold is so amazingly heavy.
I didn't even think about it, but you opened the window and the breeze came in. Haha.
Let the breeze come in.
Cross
Not today,
your
though.
arm.
It's cool.
No, it's cold. Leg you
It's
can
sad.
touch. Drop back, but take your time. Square up. Level hips. 5, 4, 3, 2. Soft landing. Front foot opens. Rotate hinge. Sweep. Find your elbow. And then control to your back. We have to get back up. Foot drives into the floor. Hip extension. Pull. Find your hand. Lift. Sweep. Keep that lat and shoulder packed. Hand leaves floor. Front foot moves. Both legs pushing away from you to stand up. Shake it out.
Awesome.
Great.
Very cool. So here we are on our deadlift, or excuse me, our kettlebell body weight day. Warmed up with some body parts, warmed up with some kettlebells or similar objects like Lauryn's ball. And now we're going to work on our deadlift. If you have a super heavy couch, maybe you could use that too as you set up your deadlift, or just pattern these same movements with the ball. Maybe raise the floor. Go get those yoga blocks. Get those yoga blocks.
Okay.
I'll get the yoga blocks.
Well, I don't know what you wanted me to talk about while you're gone.
So, picking something up right off the floor might not be so easy. So, you could get yoga blocks, place them underneath, and bring the floor up. So the object that you're aiming to lift is maybe the height of Lauryn's crops or halfway through your shin. Okay? Working lower than that might be very hard to use your hinge. Maybe our squat application in real life is better. So check that out. Bringing the floor up is a nice way to modify your exercise. So here we are. Lauryn's cued us really nicely for our hinge already. So we'll stand right over top of that bell. And if you have a kettlebell, or the center of Lauryn's green ball should bisect your legs. So you want to stand right over it or even slightly behind. Now from here,
in front.
Excuse me, the object behind, or you're in front, you're right. So from here, we'll take those hands, chop on those hips, try to avoid looking at the bell. So I'm looking about 6 feet in front of me here, or at you on the camera, and then grip the bell. Can you pretend to lift it? So that's where that heavy couch could come into effect. You could feel the load, gently let go, and stand up with that nice hip extension and core tight. If that felt okay to do the bodyweight version, let's go forward for about 5 repetitions now, loading or lifting that object. Chop, hinge, grab the bell, think preload that there's some tension between you and this object already, and then brace the core, extend the hips, keep the shoulders retracted. Return to the floor. Repeat, grip, pack, preload, drive those feet down into the floor to stand up and try to pull those shoulders back in retraction. Repeat to the floor. This is rep number 3. So we've packed the shoulders, we're crushing the bell, and drive up.
Whoops.
And then down.
I couldn't keep my shoulders retracted when I held the side.
And then the last 2 here, shoulders pack, preload, come up, and return. And last time, shoulders pack, brace core, come up, and return down. Shake it out. In previous weeks, we have explored our deadlift and our chop and pop, and the chop and pop links the deadlift to the kettlebell swing eventually. First, let's show you what a kettlebell swing would look like.
Walk forward. Okay. I'm just about to hit the rad.
That's our kettlebell swing. Before we go into sets and reps of that, let's work on that chop and pop first. From standing tall, take those hands, chop on the hips. Continue to chop and push the hands to the back. Now stand up with your hands somewhat behind you until your hips are fully extended. Whoops, then bring those arms through. Let's repeat for 5 more. Let your arms straighten out or chop those hips. Hinge, hands stay behind until the hips are all the way through. And then chop and hands stay behind, pop. 3 more, chop, pop, chop, pop. And 1 more, chop and pop. And shake it out. I really like Lauryn's slow lunges there. So 1 more each side. Can we do 1 lunge repetition, body weight, nice and slow, just like before. So open up your stance and take us through that lunge there, Lauryn.
I know, it's just clearing my area.
Clear it out.
Step back with a single leg before you go anywhere. Square up, tuck under. From here, keep that front shin vertical as you drive your front hip forward and your back hip back. Front heel should always be on the floor. Soft landing. Relax. Then gather up tension. Start pushing back on your back foot and front and down on your front foot. Up to tall, step to center. Same thing, second side. Step back, get up on that back toe. Square up forward, tuck hips under. Drive that femur back and this one forward. Soft landing, vertical shin, heel down. Then push down and forward and down and back. Engage up to center. Shake it out.
We're gonna do one more set of our deadlift and then our chop and pop. So stand over your object. Did that feel too light or was that just right? Instead of maybe using the ball, as Lauryn said, she had a little bit of a tough time with that.
I'll use my ring.
Yeah, either the ring or a dowel. And again, if it's that dowel, we're looking at having it somewhere about that shin height. So let's step over top of these bells. In your deadlift stance, Lauryn's showing a great one there. Set up the chop.
Oops.
Hands to the ground. Pack the shoulders. Preload, crush the grip, brace, and extend. Return to the floor. Pack shoulders. Preload, meaning lift it without creating separation at the floor, and then continue that drive to tall. And then hinge. Set rep number 3. Pack shoulders, preload, drive those feet out to stand tall, and down. Pack shoulders, get the grip, push the feet out, preload up, and down. And last time, reset shoulders, preload the body, drive, and then down. And body weight up. Always a wiggle to feel good, or at least to check in. Now, let's go up to 10 chop and pops here. For 10 repetitions, slow for the first 2, we'll pick up our speed as we go. Chop, pop with the butt squeeze, and then hands. Chop, pop. A little quicker. Chop, pop, chop, pop, chop, pop, chop, pop.
Not too fast.
Tight at the top. And 2. Let's go 2 more. Hinge. And 1 more. Like a brick wall. Shake it out. 1 more time, lunges, Lauryn. Nice and slow.
Back to center, taking your step back again. Pick a leg, drop it back. Get up on those toes, square up, tuck under, slowly start bending, pushing forward, pulling back. 3, 2, soft landing. Front heel still heavy. Relax, then gather up tension by pushing forward, down and back, up and together. Second side, drop back, tuck under, vertical shin, heavy front heel, pulling back, pushing forward towards that soft landing. Relax once you're down here, then regather that tension by pushing down and out and up together. Whew.
Or might not be done our lunges yet today. It might just be a nice time to shake it out. Do you have that kettlebell? Do you have that dumbbell handy? Or just a dowel, rolling pin, stick? Hold something in the hand, and I'd like to explore our firing range position. From here, Lauryn's ring will just work just fine as well. Something to hold on to with your grip. We'll continue to get down to the floor through our getup we explored earlier. Let's take that leg, maybe a hand across the chest, drop down into our lunge, open up that leg to the side, rotate and hinge, sweep through, find an elbow, and then core brace to the back. Did you end up near your kettlebell? Hopefully you did. Lauryn, you're kind of off the camera there.
No,
Do a quarter turn. Head to the camera there. Yeah, nice. Okay, this is a great position, this cuddle. Let's all just spend some time in this cuddle. If you have a kettlebell, we're looking to put the watch face position of the wrist into the kettlebell so you actually have a slightly flexed wrist. We want to try to avoid the extended wrist on our kettlebell holds.
The broken wrist.
So get a good grip. My pinky is near the corner. Figure out a nice place for your hand as well. From here, shrug a shoulder on the bottom side, but then pull that shoulder down to lengthen out. Then let's take a breath, roll to our back, elbow on the floor, and a vertical forearm. Does that feel okay? Does that shoulder say that's all right? Let's hold there for a couple seconds. Now take 2 hands on that kettlebell and assist it to help press it up. This is our firing range position. Now for about 20 seconds, at your confidence and strength, take your hand away from the bell so we have one hand firmly gripping that kettlebell. This next 10 seconds, we're continuing to talk to this armpit musculature to pack the shoulder in, and for 5 seconds or less here, making sure we avoid the elevated shoulder. Go 2 hands on the kettlebell, pull the elbow towards the hip, and then return in the cuddle. Then let go of the bell. I personally take my feet and move it around to the other side. And Lauryn's doing a little of that halo where we kind of take it from one side to the other. Both are right. So from here, we'll do the same thing. We'll set up in the cuddle with that wrist watch position, gently pressing into the kettlebell. And then take your bottom shoulder and shrug it, but then pull that armpit down that we're ready to rock. From here, go to your backside. From there, hold for a couple seconds. And is your shoulder blade again hugged in nice and tight? Then from there, assist with the other hand, press it to the ceiling, and then at your confidence and strength, take away the other hand, do that chin tuck, pack the shoulder, avoiding the elevated or up shoulder blade, and find that strength by hugging the midline in the back, stiffening the elbow, and crushing the grip for about 10 more seconds. Is your pinky crushing, turning those fingertips white. And go 2 hands back on now. Pull the elbow to the hip to keep the forearm vertical. And slowly come back to the cuddle. Return to your back. That was my left hand that just had the kettlebell. So now my right arm is going to be up like our first move of the get up here. So switch to the other side. Now for 3 repetitions, I like to go over our first move of that get up again, which is the hip extension. Take a shoulder and protract, meaning reach towards the ceiling, shoulder blade flares out. Then retract that shoulder that we're nice and tight. From here, extend the hip, initiating a roll. So initiating that roll with that hip extension. And nice and slow to the back. Repeat that again. Push off the floor, initiating a roll where our hip and shoulder move together. Return to the back side. Repeat that one last time. Push through the floor, extend the hip in your roll. Nice and control. Return to your back. Switch the coordination. So left hand up, left knee bent, in this case for myself, and the right's for Lauryn. And with the flat foot on the floor, push to initiate your roll of that hip extension. And slow and control. Return to your back. Repeat 2 more. Push through the floor. Turn on that hip to extend. Nice and slow to the back. And repeat one last time, pushing through the floor, initiating the roll, and slowly return to the back. I'm going to do my little turnaround. So my right arm is loaded first, and we're going to do that firing range position one last time for today. So while we're on the floor for one last go, our firing range. As Lauryn is there, set up and start in the cuddle. Pack the shoulder, take a breath, flip to your back, and then with 2 hands, press right away to the ceiling this time. Get your chin tuck in there, and for 20 seconds or so for today, we're keeping a nice firm wrist, a nice straight shoulder. Our shoulder blade is being hugged into the body. And I think I said straight shoulder, and I meant straight elbow. So use those triceps to keep the arm nice and straight. And for 5 more seconds, maybe talk to the hip extension or those other parts for the get up. And then take 2 hands on, pull it down, and then return to that sideline cuddle. Again, let go. Take your time as you flip around to the other side. Same thing last time with our kettlebell. Firing range. Connect that watch face to the kettlebell, crush your grip, pack your shoulder, and press to the ceiling. At your confidence and strength levels, take the hand away, move it out to the side like the get-ups position. The hand on the floor is out the belt line extended. And for, again, 15 seconds more now, take that armpit and pull it down. Shore up that tension in the back, that we have a nice strong load out front or up top here. And for, again, 5 more seconds, pack the shoulder, feel that load, go 2 hands on, pull the elbow to the hip, and turn back to that cuddle. I'm going to move that out of the way, just so it's not a tripping hazard. And I'd like to explore that first movement of the get up once more, except now it's going to be that extension. So setting up in your get up stance, hand to the ceiling or across the chest is appropriate. First movement, heavy hand on the other side. And now that first movement is that hip extension. And from that hip push, initiating that roll with that hip push, pull on the floor. And now take a couple seconds to lever yourself back down. No crash. Same thing. Push through the hip, initiating the roll, and pull on the arm. Nice and slow, return to the back. One final time on that side. Initiate the roll, the push through the hip to pull. Nice and slow on the down. And then we'll switch to the other side. Same thing. The hand that's up could also be across the chest. And again, we'll use that hip to initiate the roll and then pull on the elbow. Take time to lever back down. 2 more. Push through the hip, extend that hip, initiating the roll, and pull on the elbow. Slow to lever, hinge, plank, back down. Whew. One more time. Push, initiating the roll, pull on the opposite arm, and then press that elbow into the floor to help lower us with control. Switch your side to your hard side. I know that that's my right hand to the ceiling. And we're just going to get up one last time today out of our get up here and do the whole thing of our extension through the hip and our pull. Our tall sit. Don't bonk heads with your neighbor and sweep through. Bring that hand up the ground, squaring up the lunge and standing up, and then pulling that arm back down. I'd like to finish today's practice with just one light set of squats, and let's commit to doing about 8 of our sumo squats here, and then we'll be back later this week or later even today for some handstands. But shake it out first and do our sumo squat. A sumo squat, at least to Wikipedia and brief research, is 2 shoulder widths wide. Please modify that as you think you need. But again, unless you're Andre the Giant, your shoulders aren't this wide. So kind of tame that stance as you can. From here, as Lauryn cued us for our squat, let's pull those heels down to pull ourselves into our squats position. And then we'll stand up, transfer weight to one leg. Bring the leg up towards the knee, and then straighten out, point the toe, toe ball heel on our landing. And then this is rep number 2. And up, and then out, toe ball heel. And this is rep number 3. Keeping those hips nice and level or low legs for right now. Rep number 4. And we'll finish with about 4 more of those. Nice and control. 1. Lauryn doesn't like hanging out in that squat too long. A way that we could make this harder is to hang out here just a little longer. We have 1 more time each now. There you go. Last one each.
I'm hanging out.
Hang out. And last time here in that sumo, we're just hanging out in the squat and up. Shake it out. Well, that's our work for today. That's our body weight. That's our bell. And some of our favorite fun strength movements to do with strong people online, or right here in our studio. So it's Wednesday, which means at 9 a.m. we run this live class. Are you a member yet? Thank you for your participation and enrollment in our membership program. And if you're not, it's barresandbells.com/become-a-member. These pandemic era times are tough. No excuses, but we appreciate your help. We appreciate your support and your attendance in class, and we'll be here again. Have a great day. Take care. Stay strong.
Goodbye.
Play somehow today. Bye.
Have a good day.
See you.